Hi, what's going on, guys? My name is Patrick. Today, I want us to learn how to create your own generative AI. To create your own generative AI, you need to understand what a GPT is. So, GPT basically stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. And what is a transformer? A transformer is just an advanced form of a CNN. A CNN stands for a convolutionary neural network. And what is a CNN? A CNN basically is just something like a storage, or we can say that it's a short form storage. We call it LSTM, long-term short-term memory storage, that enables you or enables your computer maybe to generate something out of it. But now for the past CNN, because for our transformer it's just the advanced form of CNN. A CNN could not support long-term memory; it could just support short-term memory. So for the generative pre-trained transformers or the transformers, these are just enhanced form of CNNs. They have the capability to store data in your computer for a long time, and that's exactly what happens for the case of ChatGPT when it's able to revive um, a chat. For example, if you start chatting with the ChatGPT, you're able to understand. You're able to it's able to understand from the top. It's able to build concept, build ideas until it's able to now provide a solution for your concept. So for this case, it's super easy to create your own generative AI nowadays, given that we have lots of pre-trained transformers that you can use for to build your project. For example, we have the transformers. There is the Facebook transformers by Hugging Face. We have the GPT by ChatGPT. We have several others by Stability AI. If you are interested in building images or generative images, that's going to be our next video. I'm going to post it tomorrow. We're going to learn how to create uncensored images or videos for your project using the Stability AI. So for this case, I want us to learn how we can create our generative AI for this particular case. So I'm going to use Google Colab, because I think it's super easy to use a Google Colab. You don't have to install some of the packages. It comes pre-installed in your Google Colab. And what's better with this one is that everyone who has a Google account is directly able to use the Colab. So Colab basically stands for collaboratory. And for this case, we're going to be using a free one. Um, as you can see, I have a system RAM of 12 GB, 3 GB, and a disk storage of 110 GB to help me create simple products in machine learning and artificial intelligence. Guys, please bear with me. The free version of Google Colab isn't able to create super complex projects. You have to pay for an advanced form of it all. But we are able to now to test our small project here with us. Yeah. So aside from that, we are also able to run the project just right inside our Hugging Face, or maybe our no sorry our Google Colab, as you can see. So for this case, I'm going to use transformers by Facebook to create to generate um, a simple prompt, or maybe to generate a simple output from the prompt. So for this case, we're going to import transformers, and we have installed the transformers already, so it's going to take time if you are setting up your project. And at the end of this video, I'm also going to share materials or some books which can help you maybe improve the project further. You're going to be able to fine tune it further to build great projects. For example, in this case, you'll understand that our answer is sort of hallucinating. For example, we're going to, for this case, we are generating write a short essay about Satan, and you can see that when I run the project, I'm able to see whatever is getting installed in the project. And as you can see, although it generates a context, you can see that it's somehow hallucinating. It's getting several ideas from different areas, and you can see that practically that's exactly what happens, which is different from what all these production mode ChatGPT or maybe transformers do. For example, this is not going to be the case if you send the same prompt to ChatGPT or even Gemini. But for this case, this is just a simple model to show you how you can generate your own AI. And for this particular case, you can fine tune it further. And if you train it with a little bit more data, for example, in this case, we're using the 355 um, data set, or we're using the parameters 355 so million. So if you train it further with billions of parameters, you're going to be able to create practically useful generative AIs, as you can see. But for this case, I want us to consider how this happens. So we're using these transformers. We are importing the pipeline and auto tokenizer and auto model for casual large language models. So for this case, all of these, what you see here, are just advanced form of uh, natural language processing tools, or the NLP, just the same things. But for this case, the transformers in our case are advanced. They come pre-trained. They have the pre-trained versions of pipelines, auto tokenizer, auto model for causal LLMs, and aside from that, they also have them so they can pre-configured. You don't have to write a long Python code here, maybe trying to set your pipeline. Yeah, so we are also importing Torch, which is also a machine learning library. And we also are defining our tokenizer as the auto tokenizer from pre-trained this one. So the tokenizer, as I said, comes pre-configured from the transformers, and we are going to import that one. We don't have to create our own tokenizers. Of course, we can do that if we want to, but it will take us much time. And at the end of the day, we want to train large data sets. Remember that 355 million parameters, these are super large on normal settings. If you're going to do it yourself, it's going to take time. In fact, even reading reading something like 200,000 lines, it's going to take you some much time, around 10 minutes for your computer. For example, in this case, for my computer, it takes around 5 to 10 minutes when I'm reading of data sets of around 200 lines. Yeah. So aside from that, is in the case whereby I'm using pandas, and also even when I try to use Spark, it still takes a lot of time. So after that, we are also using the pipeline. The pipeline simply means that we're using it to generate the text, and it's going to help us with our text generation. And we're going to use the library, or the NLP library Torch, to kind of help us to interpret our model here and help us to set some of the requirements. For example, we're ensuring that the trust remote code is set to true and the device map is auto, so you don't have to set all of that. Yeah, so after that, we are also defining our result, and this is where we are setting up our prompt. For example, in this case, we are saying that we want to write a short essay about Satan, and we also want to return the sequences as three. These are not necessary. For example, the maximum length, I set it to 50. Maybe I wanted to make sure that my model doesn't hallucinate a lot, but it still did, so I thought of commenting it again. And also we are setting the part token ID, or the tokenizer EOS token ID here, and the truncation. I used it to make sure that the sentences are readable. They just not, or we can see the punctuation as well. So that was the role of the truncation, but it didn't work. So I had to comment it back. So I'm going to run the code again. So for example, we can say that what is Facebook's transformers transformer. Then I'm going to run it. Of course, it's gonna take much time. It's gonna import all of these definitions, and it's going to take around several minutes for this, but not as long as it would take. For example, our next video, we're going to focus on how we can create a generative AI that is in the case of images. For this case, I said we're going to use stability AI, and we're gonna see that it's gonna take much time as compared to this. But hopefully, if you want a laptop that supports